I think many of you have noticed that the Cheka and later the NKVD wore leather jackets. Were they a standard uniform or was it due to other circumstances? A leather jacket or raincoat, a cap and a revolver. This is the appearance of a state security officer in the post-revolutionary period. In Tsarist Russia, leather jackets were worn by drivers, officers and soldiers of armored divisions, as well as mechanics, since they all had to do with servicing engines, and regular tunics were constantly dirty with oil and could not be washed. Leather jackets were purchased abroad, they were warm and waterproof. They proved their practicality during WW1 at the front. Such jackets were also popular among the civilian population, but not everyone could afford them. After the overthrow of Nicholas I and the Bolsheviks' rise to power, uniforms for military personnel began to be developed only a year later, and before that, it was allowed to wear the uniform of the Russian Imperial Army, but without insignia. The Bolsheviks got an impressive supply of leather jackets from the Tsar's clothing warehouses and they began to issue them to the Chekists, the commanders of the Red Army and the workers of the party apparatus. At the official level, the leather jacket was not a statutory uniform, but at the same time it was not prohibited, belonging to the category of non-statutory permitted. Immediately after the revolution, the Bolsheviks began to worry about possible workers' strikes and they created the All-Russian Extra-Ordinary Commission for Combating Counter-Revolution and Sabotage, VCHK. Its employees were called Chekists. Before the revolution, the Bolsheviks themselves called on workers to strike, and after coming to power, these strikes were banned, strikers were punished, and the organizers were shot. Felix Dzerzhinsky, who headed the Cheka, achieved the right to requisition cars and fuel, as well as the right to shoot people who were objectionable to the party. A harsh purge began, and the country began to talk with horror about the leather people, in quotation marks. The Chekists also liked leather jackets because lice did not breed in them, and at that time this was very important. Lice carried typhus, which killed people. In addition to car oil, blood that got on them during the reprisals against workers, writers and scientists who were objectionable to the party was also easily washed off from leather jackets. But still, the main reason why the Chekists wore leather jackets was that they simply had nothing else and they had to wear what the Bolsheviks got from the Tsarist times. Subscribe to the channel. There will be much more interesting things ahead.